Hello everyone and welcome back to another Division 2 video. We continue the Playing Every Division series with 5th Panzer today. Now, we get right into it, and let me say this is the about most boring and most standard German divisions that you can get. Or at least most standard, most boring German tank division. But I think it really applies to all German divisions. Out of all the divisions, this is as plain boring as it gets. It has basically nothing special to it. I mean, there's one plane in here that is special. I give it that. And interesting, but other than that, and you know, even there you have to ask yourself if you want to use it. But other than that, there's just nothing to this division, which is kind of, you know, this is why this is so low tier, both in the tier list, but also for me. The issue with this division is there's just, you know, it is good at 2K. I think you can actually fight at 2K heavy maps, just Lusk maps, Strono, Ciano. On those maps, this can probably work if you play it right. It's still an important thing. And you can probably play this with any income, really, as well. I played Marek because by this point for the queue, I prefer it because I hate the 2-hour artillery grind it sometimes turns into. And I think Maverick gives you more options in quick play to win on other maps because you will run out of infantry eventually. So you don't want to get stuck with balanced. With this division unbalanced on a map that is not good for it. Because while a map that is not good for it is probably meaning that you lose anyway, with the income advantage, you might be able to kind of use your advantages that you do have well enough to still get a win, but in balance, I don't really see this happening. But yeah, on those maps, it's probably okay. Otherwise, I think it's going to struggle. And the main issue of this is really just that on most maps, there will be divisions that do better, that do things better that this division also does. Like, there's divisions that do the 2K better than this. Obviously, there's divisions that do mid and CQC range better than this anyway, because there's not a division that's meant for that. But, you know, at 2K, there's plenty of divisions that do that thing better. Now, again, it will probably be decent there, as there's quite a few divisions that this can probably beat. So, that's that. But as a whole, there's just a great risk of end up on maps for quick play that are not good for this division. And when you play tournaments, there's always better picks than this, usually. And there's not that many bands that this ever becomes a great choice. So this is where this division stands. And that's really its main issue. So if you look into it a little bit more closely, we definitely do see some weaknesses here. We don't see a ton of we don't see a lot of light armor. I was going to say none, but it's not true. There's some. We don't see a ton of light armor. We don't have a lot of infantry. So, you know, that's serious limitations on the right maps that can be quite the issue. We also don't have any light tanks or cost-efficient tanks, really, for the matter. We do have some Marder, so that's one thing. Actually, we can probably change the detail a little bit. We're going to get to that. So that's one thing. And then if you look around more, you know, we do have our heavy tanks, but nothing super heavy. So nothing here that is unbeatable, which is not a thing. That's basically what the weaknesses are. Of course, you have a lot of 2K, and you have good, decent choices. You have plenty of 2K, AT, and HE, so that matters a lot. Still, you're going to struggle against an IST, for example. There's not really any answers in this division to that, which is one of the weaknesses of this division. But other than that, you know, against some average 2K divisions, without any super heavy tanks, this division can do the work. This is where I see its strength really, and in the air type, as we're going to get to see. But other than that, not that many strengths. Just, again, pretty standard, nothing special there. Nothing that really helps make this special. And German Tanks division have this, where if you look at what the good German tank divisions do, they all have some cheaper, lighter armor, like Panzer 3s, a ton of Marder, good activation points too, maybe some more infantry. Not all of them do, but some of them have quite a bit of infantry they can take. But yeah, you have the cheaper armor, you have support tanks, these kind of things. This is all things that are missing in this deck. But let's get to the build. In the recon tab, we do actually have some light armor with the SDKF set to 50/9 and 250/10. And the reason why I don't take this one, despite this having the 20mm autocannon, this one just having the 37mm AT rifle, I was confused by the 36 over there, is that this thing doesn't have a ton of ammo and it runs out super quickly. So while the 20mm is really good, at the same time, it runs out so quickly that, to me, it kind of underperforms a little bit. At the same time, when it just comes to killing light armor, this thing will do the trick, because light armor is actually something that we need to be concerned about, since, you know, the cheapest thing that we have is the martyr. We only have that one card, which again, no, you can actually fix it, mix it up with another division. So that's that. So we really have to ask ourselves, what do we do if any light armor is coming up? Because light armor for our Panzer is actually dangerous. They're not Stücks. They can get pen. So this is something we have to keep in mind, and this is why personally I want to have these around, and they can still do some infantry support. They actually also won't run out of ammo all that quickly, so they can still be annoying for infantry, and I think that is good enough for me personally. But I wouldn't fault anyone for taking this. And the reason why I don't want to take both those, I think some recon Panzer are good, especially in AV, since we only have the one card. On top of that, having a recon Panther can be quite strong, in my opinion. I'm not a huge fan of Panzer Ds, but the recon one, that is good because of the recon. Once again, and of course, regular recon we need to take. We take it with the Kubel MG so that we actually have some more proper recon around, because we don't have that much more. Infantry tab, there's not really that many choices. Now, this division is one of the few where I would consider taking the Ersatztruppen. Not because they're good, but because they can act as a filler and spot for you armor. The problem is you don't have that much support armor here that could really do a ton of work. We can rely on these things. So I'm once again not that sure whether I actually want to use them, but you know, you could. I'm not saying that you can't. I think some people can make use of them. I personally can't. I don't think I'm going to do that. But again, it is an option. I wouldn't fault you for doing it. We're going to take one of each in A and B phase of the one with the Panzerfaust. As always, I want to have some in A and B phase, which is the most critical ones. By C phase is still useful, but I think in A and B phase it's way more important that we have them. There's that. I take these no vet, which usually I would take them in single vet, but we take a look. That is dangerously low infantry. That's a dangerous low infantry count. So I'd rather make sure that I have enough as it is. So you can see Sturm Pios, because I don't need to micro them as hard as the Pioneer, and with, you know, all our tanks, we could probably need to do quite some micro of those. Tank tab, there's really just nothing here other than Panzer Force, Tigers, and Panthers, different sorts. The Panther Chief for quick play for me is not really worth it, because yeah, it can deal with IS2s and the like. But you have to get close within 1750 meter range, and even there, the drop-off is significant. Now, you will probably still pen an IS-2, but if you're onto King Tiger or an Elephant, you know, it's probably not going to cut it. So, it helps, but personally, I don't find the up price worth it. It's only 5 points, so maybe we should do it. Yeah, I guess actually for the queue, you know, for the possibility to run into it, we can take the leader card, we can get 2, and then we still have the regular Panther. Actually, let's do it that way then. That's way better, actually. So we have one of each. We only have leaders, so that's useful. We definitely want to have Panzer Force in A, B, and C phase. We don't want to run out of those. In C phase, we can't afford a lot of Panthers, and even in B phase, we won't buy thousands of them. You have 6 heavy tanks in total. I think that should do the trick, really. But Panzer Force might still need to keep it call in every now and then. Here, not that many good options. I don't take ammo. I usually take it in the support because I hate bringing it with my artillery, but in this case I actually do, because I think we kind of need all the support we can. Now, the reason why I take so many guerrilla here, and definitely the MG42 will not be wrong either, is I do not want to run out of tools that can kill 17 pounds and things like that. If it really comes to that. But also, we can use, I want to use some more aggressive as infantry support too, or yeah, not just a 2K. So this is why I have more of them, so that we don't run out of them. Since we don't have any support tanks, the guerrilla is what we're going to take. It eats up, not that many options here. We could definitely consider removing one of these, gives us free activation points. If we also remove this, for example, for one slot, we could also get more tanks, which I don't really see the need in it, but maybe we're actually going to switch this to more of these in B phase. I think that would actually be a good use of that. Way better for sure. This thing is not that good, so I don't like it. I'd rather have mobility since we were more tank heavy. Commander, definitely not worth it since we don't have that many leaders, and it's all tanks. But yeah. This thing, I think with the Panzer boosters, this is my static and fast light AT option. Together with this, I think that should do the trick. Of course, this one has a bit more pen, but at the end of the day, I think it's going to be think it's going to... actually doesn't have more pen. Never mind. My bad. Has more range though. We don't need more Panzer tracks, I don't think. That's going to be that. AA, I have quite a few options here. Now, the reason why I don't take this is because Flak 43 is just cheaper and it does the job very well as well. Gives us better map coverage. 88 in A phase to have some more of that 2K dominance. I think it's best used in A phase already. And I don't want to rely on only 88, so this is why I bring only the one card in A. We do have plenty of 2K anyway, but it's just an extra tool in A phase when you don't have that much AA. I like the Gepards for some cheap armor support. They can also do anti-infantry duty, which we might need. So this combined role, I think they're very good in A phase double that, since we still get 3 of those. And again, you can send them with an armor block and they protect that decently well, which is why I really like them, since we, you know, with all our armor, we want to be mobile. And then I still take a Flak 43 because we really need to protect our tanks. This is about the only thing we have, so you don't want to have them die to tank buses. So having some proper AA to accompany our tanks, and basically having something for every situation. Right? This is why I love this A phase air tab here. We have really something for every situation, and for every map. So this is why I really like doing it that way. Over here we have a good amount of options. Since I bring my artillery with ammo, I don't take the Hummel, which otherwise I think would in B phase be a very good choice. Mortar half track in A phase, no big surprise there. And that could be enough, but I decided to also bring the off map because, again, if we end up on town maps, we might need that to be able to push through. So having an off map, I think, is better there than not. It is also reasonably cheap and it is decently sized. However, we only get 2 colons by looks of it, which is not that great for this caliber. Usually the cutoff is 200 millimeters, 200 millimeter guns. I think it's probably still okay. I'd rather have this than not have it. So to start, again, we might really need it since this is for quick play and we don't know what we're running into. Air tab, here we have some more choices again. So there's a ton of strafers here and some of them are actually pretty good. And then we have this, which I'm considering switching out because this is actually a really good fighter bomb. It has medium resilience. It is not super fast, but it's still fast and has 2 sets of bombs which you can turn off, so we can bomb twice. It also has a good loadout in terms of guns, so it actually can shoot things down. We don't necessarily need a fighter here, despite, you know, the speed difference between this and the A8, of course, which is a great fighter. That is a fantastic plane. So there's that. But then we have all the strafers, and then we have some recon too, which is not to be underestimated. Now, in terms of strafers, this thing has a good loadout and it's fast, medium resilience. This thing has a better loadout, very good resilience, but is slower, which is good for strafing because it's longer. It has a longer time on target, so it will actually kill better. At the same time, it means it's easier to force off by A. It's also cheaper. Then we have this thing. This thing is fast, which is an advantage, but also downside, and it has a fantastic loadout. Note that these don't shoot from... Oh no, actually, they have also 800 meter range. I thought usually the 30 mil is shorter. Usually. Interesting. Okay, so this was a good one. It's a very good one. It's also very pricey. You get 4 of those. Cut in half. No need to do that. Very worse agility, which is not great. But so the thing about this is this will overwhelm AA. Like, you can strafe AA with this. Not sure if you can do it with 1. With 2, you can 100% strafe AA. Pretty much any, probably, because of the speed and the medium resilience. So this is fantastic. This is super oppressive. It's an absolutely trash unit that should not be in the game, if you ask me, because it's so frustrating playing against this. But anyway, it is that. It is super good. This will kill. So we're going to take that. Now, do we need this? I'm actually considering taking this because it has very good resilience, decently fast, and it can spot for our strafers, which I think is going to make them much more efficient. But it is so disgusting, you know, because of the disgustingness, I'm kind of considering not taking it. But at the end of the day, I think this division kind of needs it, so we probably should take it. And yeah, I think it's probably best to take the recon to spot for it. It is maybe not the best fighter there is, because it lacks some, you know, agility that this one has, although it also has worse with the bombs, so maybe it's okay. But either way, this is the option. The air trap, there's not really that many choices here. Now, there's some things you could do. You can definitely, again, take the AT gun again. You can take 88 in all other phases, in some other phases as well. You can take more tanks if you want to, if you really want to spam out your Panzer Fools or your Panthers. You can do that, again, if you want to play balance. There's options there, but this is how I would probably do it. It's the best build? Probably not. Okay, and here we are against Chibbles. I don't know that. person, so let's see what we can do here. Oh, V for victory. Don't see that every day. So if he can play that well, that is going to counter me. If he cannot play that well, I'm going to counter him. That's generally how this works. V for victory, if you can play it properly, I mean, we'll prove time and time again. If you can play properly, V for victory actually counters Maverick quite nicely. Despite, you know, the massive income gap here. But if you don't, and you basically countered hard by Maverick because, again, of that income gap there. So let's do this first of all. So the map is not ideal for us. It's also not the worst map we could get, but, you know, it could be Cell. Still, this is going to be a problem because, of course, like you have some 2K over here, but there's these areas as well we don't have it. And he has the better 2K, more as well. And he has more infantry and better infantry for sure. No, we don't have a recon plane. Oh, I forgot to change that. I still have to find a bomber aim. Well, it is what it is. Now, what we can do is definitely push this hard. Try to win that. And then, you know, cover off the edge of the hill. Then we can pressure these flags as well. So, because of that, I'm actually going to give this up. So, we're not pushing there. But we know we're going to minimize it. So if he tries to get up more aggressively, can do something about that. Let's get a martyr there. Let's get some recon there just to be... Let's move it over to here then. And I think that's all we need there. Maybe machine gun here just so that we don't lose the down here as well. If it doesn't actually push her good, we're going to keep that for basically free. If it pushes there, we have accepted that we're going to lose that flag. It is what it is. Just need to make sure that we can hold this then. But that should be all right. So, we have to be very, very careful not to waste our CQC, because it is incredibly precious for us. This should be a good position to put that. I want to have one here that can block my opponent off there. Maybe I should also put a flamer somewhere, but I don't really know where I want to put that. Not ideal, but yeah, I think this is the best spot. He doesn't have fast light armor as far as I know, so this is not something I'm overly concerned about. I also don't think it's going to open up with like a Panzer or anything like that, so having the gorilla up here will probably be good. Ooh, I don't know for how long I've been recording, but him being so fast means that he is going to rush somewhere. I can't really... Yeah, no. Just checking how long I've been recording. So I've not been talking for that long. And so he will do a massive push somewhere and just try to brute force his way in. Now here in the center, we are going to do this. So... Obviously, this is not a good play usually, and this doesn't really change just because I'm doing it now. The reason why I still do it is because, you know, with these kind of divisions in such a matchup, I think we have to be a little bit, we have to play differently. We can't just follow the rule book. If we do that, we will lose. I think there's no debate in that. So we try to do something that we usually don't do. And hope that it works. Really. Try to get that in there. And then we need to push here eventually. I should also get some recon over there as well. I forgot we also have this thing. Shouldn't forget those. Let's send some over here. So we're gonna push massively here. I'm kinda stealing from... who was that? You will have seen the game by now, or by now for you, as in when you watch this. Who was that? Espresso, exactly, we pushed over here. We're kind of trying to replicate that, I think. That's going to be our strategy. Just a bit different. As we can see, with not a lot of armor. And we try to grab this very aggressively, I know. Okay, maybe this is overkill. Maybe do it that way, and then we can also send a tank over there. That is not a tiger. And we can send... This gives us more cheaper options. And push those up here. And now we have barely any support tools. That's great job there. Great job there, Commander Al. You have certainly done it. Maybe if this thing is so close, you don't need to recon over there. That gives us some, some infantry that we can now actually push into here. And let's go. Ready? Good luck. Have fun. He doesn't have AT planes, so I don't need to be concerned about that. We can actually strafe him very quickly in the first income. But yeah, he's going to rush me somewhere if it's that fast. If anyone ever deploys this quickly, it means it's going to rush you in one area. I just hope it's over here, because this is where I actually have the armor. It's over here. Sucks. It's in the center. It's in the center. I can shift the Panzer. He can't take the center that quickly. I think. I would hope. Hope the guerrilla can help there. But yeah, let's see what the guerrilla can do. I really hope that this thing is able to do a good fire support there. Not something I've ever done like that, so you know, it's definitely something new. Okay, only 3 vehicles. That's not big, and one thing is going over there because I'm not too concerned about that. Trying to get in here by the looks of it. Taking the safe way though. And we should probably get some recon over here now. Right. This should be safe. Not too concerned about that. Recon. Let's get the recon in here. Oh, you open up with the Panzer. Okay. We can bomb that and stress it out. But I'm probably going to get in there. Yeah, I forgot that he could just easily do that. That's alright. That's alright. Can you not see that? Oh, there we go. I can see it. It is kind of where we have to fight, because here we're not going to win. So... That should not have killed it. No, it did not. Right. I don't see a wreckage over here. Nope. Alright. Make sure that we're not easily going to get spotted over there. We're going to have to put something over here too. Is it damaged? A bit. We're not to the extent where we can easily kill it in one go. Alright, let's get mortars in here. Let's take this out. Slow and careful way. Let's get something over here. Alright. I'm gonna avoid that then. Let's see if we can get this somehow closer, and then we can move this into an attack position. Alright, let's get Get a tank up here. Help out over there. Okay, good. We got that done. Our truck is over there. We can then dig that out. We can get in here. Alright, let's see what those can do. Oh, the Panzer is there. Oh! Ho, ho! Oh! Oh! We take that win. We take that win. Back in business, guys. We're back in business. Can you please just go in there? Jeez. Should be able to get in there now. And then we're gonna just strafe that to death. Let's try to get that going. And just slowly but surely push. Try to get in there too. No AA. Love that. Actually, not as good as I expected. It's probably just too fast. Let's kill whatever is over there. Oh, the gorilla did it. Actually, let's move you a little bit further back to where you can actually do supporting without. Alright, now we need to make sure that we can push the center over there. Ah, now we're losing that finally. It was only a matter of time anyway, so. And then we don't have a flamer left, eh? Don't we? Oh. See if we can strafe that already. Stick out whatever is in there. Oh, let's just kill that then. And let's readjust you. You can take care of that. Oh, this one got killed. Okay. Nice, love that. Should be able to get across now. Let's get in there. Oh, there we go. This is what I wanted. Now we can start covering this off. To open it. Oh, he brought out another one. Interesting. I'm gonna surrender that. We're gonna move that up, and we have to be careful we can't get too close, but. Oh, you were not supposed to join that. Are we within radio range of... yes, we are within radio range of the mortar. So now we can just go after that thing with the mortar. Make things a lot easier. I don't want you to go over there, though. You need to go... through there. Sorry. Through there. Live pathing tool sometimes just is very annoying. Let's see what we can do with that. It's also going to get one of these in there. Okay, we can't go. The Konings have TNT, so we can't just continue. Oh. I don't really want to engage that. Oh, Yak Panzer full. That's another thing that I don't really want to match. But we can bring the Tiger next. Line of... No. Don't listen to the frontline tool. It's a lie. It's a trap. Alright, let's get the Tiger to continue that push. Let's see if we can find an angle on that. We need to push here at some point anyway, and the recon definitely shows that there's not that much there, at least not immediately dangerous. I mean, we could start thinking about bombing that. I'm just going to go with the full strike because I know there's infantry next there anyways. If there's a bit of a spread, that's actually totally okay with me. I don't mind that. We are within radar range, which is good. And we can support that. Just need to be a little bit careful, but we can definitely do it. And we might be able to re-engage. I don't know where that Jagdpanzer is, though. Killing that thing certainly was huge for us. We should reinforce this because it's going to push here eventually. As soon as we move in and see what we can do there. Oh, there we go. Put that in here. And eventually put some in the church tower. We need to get AA in now. Let's probably just wait. We get proper AA. Is that an 88? I reckon it is. Yeah, it is. Oh, took out my Panther. Don't like that. Oh, it's still solid. Alright, let's get this in here, let's get this in here. Let's make sure they can't easily airspam me. We don't really want that. Well, if you get that close, I will gonna close range infantry fight you, my man. Is he going moving into there? Yeah, he is. Alright, let's lead the shot there a little bit. And let's get another Panzer out. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, shit. That was my AA. Yeah, that's incredibly annoying. I know how that feels. How can you not engage that? I'd really love if you did. There's the Jagdpanzer. We do this, we're Cancer. Oh, no, 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 no. Gonna resupply that afterwards. Oh, there we go. Okay, that doesn't work very well. Now we know. Now we know. We need more recon though. Just gonna bring this in. That's gonna do the trick, hopefully. We need some infantry. We can push this forward and craft that flag over there. And then we need to get supplies in for that. We're also gonna need more AA for over there eventually. We should probably be concerned about securing this off. Something is shooting at it. Oh.
Dieses Geschütz rührt sich kaum vom Fleck. Die werden wir ausräuchern. Tanks voll, Zündvorrichtung gereinigt.
There we go.
In Deckung, Explosionsgefahr. Wir entfachen ein Höllenfeuer.
It's ground attacking. And it missed.
Bestehen oder bestohlen? Verstanden. Aufspüren und vernichten. Wir brauchen eine gute Feuerstellung. Auf wen haben Sie es abgesehen?
Oh, we can strafe that. We need to get... Oh, yeah, I forgot we have done
Wir
that.
haben keine Geschosse mehr.
I don't like this. At all.
Wir haben Verluste erlitten. Waffen scharf. Leitstelle, bereit zum Angriff. Verdammt bleihaltige Luft hier. Ich hau ab. Rabe 4, warte auf Einsatzbefehl.
Don't see a big shell hitting, so I might have actually have killed it. Should we bring the off map?
Verdammt bleihaltige
Kind of
Luft
thinking
hier.
yes, but at the same time, kind of thinking no.
Flak bereit. Feind aufgeklärt. Feuer! Jawohl.
Alright, we're gonna get that flag, that's good.
Stehen bereit.
Luckily we have a ton of gorilla. Like, that's the one thing that we're clearly not lacking. I wish I had more machine guns for over here.
Überprüft Waffen und Munition. Sanitäter! Wie lauten Ihre Befehle? Alle Mann zurück! Speer zur Stelle. Infanterie bereit.
Let's push forward.
Hört. Jawohl, wird gemacht.
Right, once we have ammo,
Artillerie zu Diensten.
we can finally dig out that annoying 88.
Wir haben Verluste.
Oh, I spotted that. Interesting. Oh, we're gonna get one of these in. And another one.
Verdammt, es hat mich erwischt.
There we go. Also get one of these up here. Now we have the whole area covered, really. And this thing's out of HE. Well, you cannot range that, though. Oh. No, this is why I hate Panzer fools, really. With a glowing passion, actually. We're gonna get another one in here, then.
Wir müssen hier raus.
To be honest, I'm not actually too concerned about that guy there. Alrighty tidy. Let's just dig out whatever is there. Actually, let's go after whatever is over here. Let's bring you over here, resupply that, and then we can actually get going. Gotta admit though, all those little drilling in out are actually quite annoying. Need to get some infantry over here.
Leitstelle, bereit zum Angriff.
Alright, listen up, buddy. I know you like your Focke-Wulf, but I'm having enough of it. Oh, I'm gonna get on the back too. Nope. Not turning me.
Staffel erwartet Befehle.
It's alright. Actually, looking at this, I might actually be able to re-grab that flag.
Noch ist die Luftwaffe nicht am Ende. Achtung, der Feind ist in der Nähe. Bereit für den Transport.
I might kill that now. No, he's not gonna get it. I think in return I'm gonna get his though.
Infanterie bereit.
Which would very much love. Yep, there we go.
In Bewegung, macht euch kampfbereit. Zieh den Arsch an, Hans. Kommandant.
Alright, alright, alright.
Zieh den Arsch
Get
an.
another recon tank here as long as we got them. Bring these guys in.
Wie sieht's aus, Hauptmann? Pauke, greifen jetzt an.
We're not gonna get that.
Feind direkt vor eigenen. Zieh den Arsch an, Hans. Kampfbereit. Wir haben sie voll erwischt. Wir brauchen etwas zum Zündeln. Falls der Tank getroffen wird, sind wir hinüber.
Let's just bomb that.
Wie lauten die Befehle? Brauchen Sie Feuer.
Might be ground attacking, so let's just push through.
Wir sind unterwegs, Herr Kommandant. Kameraden, das war's. Wir geben unser Bestes.
There we go, got him on a tick again.
Hans. Brecher ab, Ende. Artillerie zu Diensten. Wachsam bleiben. Tanks voll, Zündvorrichtung gereinigt. Rückwärts,
Alright, let's go.
gestern. Zu Ihren Diensten, Herr Kommandant.
And let's just push that then.
Das wird ein Kinderspiel.
We need to continue the grind here, and it's not looking very good for us. But we do have an ace in our sleeves, so we do have an off map that I think I'm going to bring now. Because this is going to fall very soon. Oh! Can we get into range here for that? No, it kills it before that. That's very sad.
Schlachtflieger bereit.
Alright, and we can finally... If we kill that, we can apply pressure here again with our armor. And now it's moving, of course.
Gefällig?
That's a shame. Oh, he sees that he's pressured over there, so he moves it. Okay, 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 okay.
Ich hab ihn. Feuer bereit. Wachsam bleiben.
Let's use our close range support tool
Stehen bereit.
that we have here. And see what we can do with that.
Wie lauten die Befehle?
This thing is ready to go. Actually, it doesn't have a lot of fuel left. It's going to be somewhere over here, so we're going to bomb that, move out, and just get that flag back momentarily.
Herr Hauptmann.
Maybe we should get one of these in here, just in case.
Warten auf Feuer.
Can also shift this over here. We'll do the trick as well.
Ab, Ende. Die Gruppe erwartet Ihre Befehle.
Well, let's see.
Wo werden wir gebraucht?
Let's move those over there. Let's get some reinforcements in here too.
Feind direkt vor eigener Stellung. Infanterie bereit. Los geht's,
Stupid
Männer.
idea. Let's just let's just shift that over there. Okay, that's how he grabbed that. Interesting.
Gute Feuerstellung.
We can just shift that over there now and keep this in there defensively.
Ich höre, Herr Hauptmann. Verstanden. Was können wir für Sie tun?
Move that a little bit forward.
An alle Einheiten, Feind gesichtet.
That should give us another flag. That's going to be a tricky one because he is definitely having an income advantage at this point,
Ein Abschussring mehr.
which is not inconsiderable. Actually, I don't really see what's over here. I don't know where the Yak Pantry is, so rather not waste my units there.
Der brennt lichterloh.
Right, let's get back in there. The off-map is arriving. And drop that here any minute. We need... we don't have a lot of CQC left, so I'm just going to use my regular units and hope that they can do the trick there.
Erwarten Ihre Befehle.
Combined with, you know, my off-map. All they need to do is surrender, and I hope that they can do that. It's a bit of a risky strategy, admittedly, but
Überprüft Waffen und Munition.
it's about all I have at the moment. And finish that off, please. Thank you.
Ah, es hat mich erwischt. Feind direkt vor eigener Stellung. Motor läuft.
Actually, let's back off then. Oh, it's 2 strikes, I reckon. I still lose it. I don't. Okay.
Ruhe, herhören.
Let's push over there.
Hat gesessen. Lanzer zur Stelle.
Alright, and let's just hammer this.
Dazulegen. Vorrufen. Feuer.
Let's kill that off. Yak Panther's still there. Not really securing anything off. Doesn't have line of sight. I'd actually be able to attack it long term. What are you spawning? It's infantry? Must be. Just have to accept that for now. The problem is like this thing, the light armor that he has to... This is what's going to cause us a massive headache. Although we can maybe support it from over here. No. I'd like you to go directly through there. Actually, you can re-engage now, can you? Oh no, he took out all of those. Damn it, forgot about that. You can just go after whatever you want, but the light armor is really a problem over here. Alright, let's see what we can do. The problem is then we're gonna be stuck again on that light armor. Damned light armor that is. Let's get that in there. Him over here, let's get you over there. Just need to somehow continue pushing. Actually, you are within range for mortar strike now. So, you know, if that thing is dealt with, you can actually really attack over here. Properly attack over here. We would have needed a 59 at some point, so this is very rough, because I don't really think we're gonna last another 15 minutes. Like, I don't really know how we're gonna do that. Yeah, because it just lost the next flag. It's far from ideal for sure. Let's keep that at the ready. Let's get another tank up here. Those kind of things. And let's just chase that down. Not if it's flying that way, because there's the AA. Oh no 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 no! You're out of ammo. I get it, I get it, I get it. But please, 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 don't do that. Whew. I hate that hill. It always looks like you get line of sight and then you don't. And this is why I'm not getting that. This is why I didn't. Why I lost that flag. This is actually more annoying than anything, really. Alright, we can just go after that again. Oh wow, that one against a Schrumpire? Gotta be kidding me. Alright, he's running. We need to push that again. Oh, he won that, but he's gonna lose now. Yeah. It's just a rough game. I need to disengage over here now. Well, looks like it's dead though. Yeah, it's dead. It's going after that blob over here. And that's the next light vehicle. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, there we go. Like that. Nah, Fallschirmjäger. Fallschirmjäger, of course, is very tricky. We're up against. Yeah, this is this matchup is really rough because the problem is, as you can see, what we need with this matchup in order for us to have any chance here is those infantry fights over these forest patches, which you just cannot do. And then, you know, one of these is already enough to stop us because, of course, you don't have infantry carried AT. I should have brought more of those, admittedly, but it's just very, very difficult. And there we go. Honestly, I think at this point we just can accept that we're not going to get that. It is too much to take down, and the matchup is really just very bad. You also don't have the CKC long run, so GG's. GG's. I know it's a quick surrender, but honestly at this point there's nothing you can do. We even outtraded him, but the problem is with the income advantage that he's getting, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, he's still gonna outtrade us. He still has more on the field, and yeah, it is what it is. I mean, this division, like we've seen it right here, like even Walter, which in my opinion, Walter is not a bad division actually, but even a division that is as weirdly built as Walter is very good against this division. Like this division, Walter would also win against 5th on any other map, really, realistically speaking, because where you need infantry, Walter has infantry. Where you need the 2K, Walter has the 2K. Mid-range map is going to be tricky, but again, infantry and AT and all these kind of things help Walter there very nicely. So there's not that much you can do with 5th Panzer, and honestly, it would look pretty much the same like this in many games. I think my biggest mistake was to not... I think I just played poorly for, you know, around that part right at the edge, where I would have needed to push him off decisively, and instead I started to spread out somehow. Now, the problem is it was kind of tricky because of that Yak Panzer there and limited CQC, but I think I really should have tried to do that somehow, maybe gotten the off map earlier, things like that, and tried to get him out there, but yeah, it is rough with this division. It is very rough. I mean, you can see it here. Light armor actually bullies this somehow. Again, I could have helped with putting more Panzerbüchse in the push. I still had some, so I can't really use the excuse of, oh, well, you only have so many. But it's also not ideal if you have to send a Panzerbüchse with every push, because then I wouldn't have had any at this point. So that's kind of how that went. But yeah, I mean, it's infantry. While German infantry, which is range is good, it is also nothing phenomenal. So you've seen that against the FG42 and things like that, you just lose. So it is unfortunate. This one, that we killed, that was super lucky though. Like, that should not have happened. So, but I mean, this is why the Yak Panther is very overpriced for what it does. If I was him, I would not have opened with that, exactly because of this scenario. Because while, you know, it has better odds winning against the Panther than the Panther has winning against the Yak Panther, the price increase is insane. You pay like, what, 65 points more over the Aufklärer Panther D, which still killed the Yak Panther, which again was lucky, admittedly. But this is something that can happen to you. This is why you don't buy this. So if I was him, I would have bought a Panther, but definitely not that. Anyway, the start, I kind of dominated, but then he came back with the 88. The 88 really blocked me off there. The fact that I think I lost my gorilla at some point here. Yeah, there we go to the Yak Panther. That was really bad because I would have really needed to get rid of the 88. And then nothing that I had really cleared that out. I lost units to it, driving food. I lost my Panzer to it because I didn't pay attention. That was just really badly played by me. Because I knew that was there, right? It's not that I, you know, willingly face-checked it, but it's also not that I wasn't aware of it. Like, I just didn't pay attention to my units, and I paid for that. So, but yeah, win some, lose some. There's that. Oh, look at that. His 88 actually got massive value. Yeah, I was a little bit tilted about that one not getting killed, as I was really focusing it down, but it is what it is. Can't always get what you want. I feel like my artillery has definitely underperformed. This is the problem if you don't have any leader with radio for it. Like, it's naturally not going to do all that much. That's just a sad reality. Yeah, my SK-18s didn't really do all that much. If you look at the actual kills, I mean, the guerrillas did well. I mean, that was definitely something nice, having all of those. That was clutch. These actually did well, too. So surprised that. The strafers... So the problem is, I have not played against divisions with... I've not really played against Walter and across Deutschland a lot since the drilling got finally fixed. And I have to say, it is very oppressive now. Like, they will force your planes off. So that was a bad investment, probably. I think I probably should have bought the mortar earlier and not necessarily so many planes. The strafers were utterly useless for the most part. And all he took on his side was to bring 188, and that was shot down as well. So there's that. Tigers. Would have been a different story if I could have seen those, because those strafers would have gotten that. No doubt about that. But oh no, actually killed a lot. I just didn't see it. He killed the 88 just a little bit late. So the SK-18 was actually performing. The problem is just it did not translate into frontline pushes. That off-map was poorly used. I got the one flag, but I didn't really get much of value for it. I didn't really get territory that could hold afterwards. So I should never have bought that. That was a super heavy misinvestment. Really bad there. On the other side, the Pack 40 was definitely a good one for him. The 88, yeah, we've seen it. This thing, I'm still mad about that. Not mad at him or the 88, but mad about myself for letting this happen. This is the same thing for this, really. That should not have happened. Really misplayed that. Didn't pay attention. Didn't have the unit in the right places. But this is why personally I'm really bad with armored divisions. Like, I really don't do my tank micro well. I completely suck at it. So this is about the worst division for me to play. Other than some of the other bad tank divisions I've already covered. So this is something that happens so often to me. It's really bad. Now these things did super well. I was surprised about those. But again, I also haven't played them since the patch. Wolfram did some killing, this thing as well. And oh, this thing actually killed an ME410. There we go. But yeah, there's that. So yeah, what should we say? I think this game very well showcased the weaknesses of this division. At the end of the day, it is a tank division. You can really only play this on open map. This is not an open map, despite the long range areas that you have. This is very much a CQC and long range map. And if you only have 50% of what you need on this map, you're going to have a hard time. But if you want to choose 50% of what you need on that map, it should be the CQC, because you can actually work your way into crucial areas that way. Whereas just having the long range does not really help you all that much on this map. So that was kind of to be expected. So let's meet at the deck and talk about it again. So let's look at the deck. So there's one change that I made, and that is taking out the 88 and taking the Bewachter. Now in this game, the 88 was useful, and it is something that I would consider putting in again. But I just like having good AA more, and the 40, like the flag 43 is very good. Now, originally I was going to keep it in because I couldn't see anything that I would want to take for those 2 points, because there was no artillery that we needed. I don't like the artillery because it's too expensive at the end of the day. And then here we don't need more tanks, right? Everything else is 3 points. So there's definitely things I would love to have in support tab, like another machine gun or ammo, but it's just not really realistic unless we take 2 things out, which I think is too much. But having more recon is not a bad thing. Also having cheap radio that we could put somewhere, for example, to give this thing radio or these SK-18s, I think is worth it. Again, radio recon, very important for tank divisions. It is an incredibly important tool, so having that extra recon, I think, is a good thing. As I've seen in the game, these can also be used dual purpose as cheap recon for your tank, so I would 100% keep those. And yeah, I think that's pretty much as it is. The rest I would leave. I think the guerrilla, the 2 sets of guerrilla were nice. I did not use it to the full potential in the game, but it's definitely useful. I would not change that. Infantry, we need what we can get, so no real changes that I would do there. We could definitely consider unvetting this, or single vetting it, sorry. Not unvetting, but it does perform quite a bit worse, but maybe at least having a bit of CQC to go through. The problem is if you lose, then you need more, and that's not really going to help you all that much. But maybe that's the way to go. But other than that, I'm quite happy. I think this was a good choice. It did do some damage. And again, it can act as cheap recon to accompany tanks. This thing definitely useful. We have seen how this was bullet well as armor, so we'll change that. The off map, even though I use it very poorly here, I think there's going to be cases where we really need this, where we can also properly use this with this division. I think of towns and such. Now, the only thing that I would love to have here is, of course, on the machine gun and or ammo. The only other thing that I would definitely consider here is taking this for recon. We've definitely seen it. Sometimes I lost line of sight, and these are not nearly as effective. But on other maps, again, that is a bit different. They were not really all that effective anyway in this game, but they definitely can be, so I'm still going to keep them in here, because I do think that in many other games, this can actually do quite a bit of work. So I think it's worth keeping them for now. Even without the recon, because we've definitely seen, like, in some cases, this can be useful. This not so much. So having that option, I think, is a good thing to have. I'd rather have both these options, but if you prefer having a recon for your strafer, that's also good call. Or if you prefer just not having the strafer at all, because it is low-key disgusting, it's also completely fine. As of my impression of the division, it hasn't really changed. This division just sucks. Not because it is missing any crucial tools. It just doesn't have a good mix of things, and it is just pretty standard. German tank divisions, the standard ones, or like in general, are not that good. The ones that are good because they do one thing very well, or because they have a lot of things in them that you don't find in a typical German tank division. That somehow makes it better. That's actually true for most German tank divisions, but there's some really standard one like this one, really not that good. This is the basis, but it needs more things. It's a good foundation, but you need to build upon that. And the foundation itself, not that good, as we can see here. And it is also, I think my biggest issue with this is it's also fundamentally unfun to play. There's just nothing, at least for me personally, and admittedly I'm not a tank player, so maybe someone who loves tanks sees this differently, but for me this is a fundamentally unfun division. There's nothing interesting to this division at the end of the day. And, I like 26th Panzer, for example. It also has a bigger infantry champ, which might play into that, but it also has more interesting tools and more unique tools. What we've definitely seen is one issue that this division really has is anything light armor-like. You can push into that a little bit with your STGF set to 50s. You have your Panzerbüchse, but it's just not that much, and we've definitely seen you can struggle pushing forward. And again, lack of infantry on the map that we were, but also many maps will be an issue. Honestly, this division could be quite a bit better if it at least had more infantry, so that you can properly use that, especially CQC, and just some cheaper tool in your armor tab. If these had, the SPWs from 16th tank, that would Panzer, that would already be better. Would not be a powerhouse, but it would be quite the upgrade there for sure. But either way, it is, as I said, it has a lot of weaknesses. The problem is, again, as we've seen, and it hasn't really changed, it's just not good anywhere. It is okay on long range maps, but it will be outclassed by a lot of 2K divisions. So this is where this division sits at. Not much more to say about that. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you do agree or disagree. I know some people like this division. I just can't see why. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Hope you had a great time, and see you all in the next one. Have a nice day.